Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Professor X here. Thank you for stopping by my channel and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to list to you my top 10 favorite night out clubbing fragrances. Just as a disclaimer, this was very hard for me to narrow my fragrances down to 10, so if you find this video long and redundant, I'm sorry. So, with that being said, let me get into my honorable mentions. I have 8 of them, and yes, this was, like I said, this was very hard for me to narrow down. So let me breeze through these honorable mentions real quick. First one is from the House of Rayon, and that is Insurrection Wild. Next one is from the House of Salvatore Ferragamo, and this is the overhated Uomo. Next one is also from the House of Salvatore Ferragamo, and it is one of the community's favorite cheapies, F Black. Next one is from the House of Davidoff, and that is Halloween Man. Next one is from the House of GIVENCHY. It is the ever hyped and but yet forgotten Play Intense. Next one is from the House of Van Cleef & Arpels. It is the sadly discontinued Midnight in Paris. And the last 2 honorable mentions I have is going to be a shocker, from the House of Baldessarini and Maison Martin Margiela, Strictly Private, and Jazz Club. So those were my honorable mentions. Let me get into the list for you. First one is my number 10 fragrance is from the House of Jacques Bogaerts. It's similar to Halloween Man, but is kind of not necessarily a clone, but a more, think of this fragrance as Halloween Man's younger cousin. And you only need 2 to 3 sprays of this. I am referring to Jacques Bogaerts' Silver Scent Intense. Now, what this fragrance smells like in a nutshell is sweet grape soda. This composition is much more smoother than the original Silver Scent, thanks to the combination of the orange blossom, the lavender, along with the tonka bean notes. And this fragrance gives off a very playful and yet very fun type of a vibe to it. Great fragrance, especially for nights out. Definitely for the colder months. The warmer months, this is a no-go. And like I said, you only need 2 to 3 sprays. Silver Scent Intense coming in at number 10. My number 9 fragrance is from the House of Perry Ellis. This fragrance got the fragrance community in a heavily headlock. And shout out to my man E of Simply Put Scents for putting me on this fragrance. I am referring to Perry Ellis's Black Vanilla Absolute. This fragrance is one of the best unisex fragrances that I personally smell in the market. Has a very gentle yet alluring, boozy, vanillic type of a smell. And this fragrance is a great alternative if you like the vibe of Midnight in Paris but wanted a unisex fragrance that was a little bit more masculine. So, great fragrance to have in your arsenal if you like unisex fragrances. Pick this one up. You can find this at Fragrance X for just under $40. Amazing deal. So, Black Vanilla Absolute coming in at number 9. My number 8 fragrance is from the House of Paco Rabanne. It's a 2-way tie from their 1 Million line, and they are none other than 1 Million Intense and 1 Million Absolutely Gold. What you get with 1 Million Intense is a deeper, more syrupy type of a smell in the opening, but give it a few minutes and the dry down becomes a little bit more cleaner and a little bit more balanced, along with the mandarin orange, along with the leathery accords. What you get with Absolutely Gold, the same similar 1 million DNA, only that this one's more concentrated, a little bit more flowery, and with a little bit less leather. Great fragrances to have, and the Absolutely Gold version is definitely great to have, also for black tie events as well. Both fragrances are highly, highly underrated. They fall victim to their successors, which are the original and the Privé. Great fragrances to have. Check them out. Coming in at number 8. My number 7 fragrance is from the house of Paul Sebastian, and this is one of the most overlooked classics. It's not for everybody, but I can pull this fragrance off very well. I'm referring to Paul Sebastian's PS. This fragrance is one of the few fragrances where lavender and vanilla are done to absolutely perfection. Is a little bit synthetic nonetheless, but it does provide a nice, classy, gentlemanly, barbershop-y type of a vibe to it. Great fragrance to have if you're for going out, especially if you want to portray yourself as the more mature man. So Paul Sebastian PS coming in at number 7. My number 6 fragrance is from the house of Davidoff, and this to me is one of the most underrated fragrances from the Davidoff line. I'm referring to Davidoff's The Brilliant Game. What you get is a 1 million type of a vibe minus the bubblegum with a little bit of a gin touch to it. To me, this is what 1 million Privé should have been. And this fragrance is great if you're more of a laid-back type of person and not really wanting to seek out a lot of attention. So great fragrance to have. Check it out. Davidoff's The Brilliant Game coming in at number 6. Number 5 fragrance is also from the house of Davidoff. I've talked about this in my entry from Jeremy's fragrance review contest, and this is one of his best, if not his best, fragrances. I am referring to Davidoff's The Game Intense. Oh man, this fragrance is amazing. Highly, highly underrated. What this fragrance what does this fragrance smell like? Think of a less oudish, less harsh version of John Varvatos' Dark Rebel, but with more of a playery, sexual edge. Great fragrance to have. Highly, highly underappreciated, and is one of my best blind buys in my fragrance journey. So check it out if you can. Davidoff's The Game Intense coming in at number 5. My number 4 fragrance is also a two-way tie. They are both from the house of Azzaro, and they are two of the most underappreciated from Azzaro's line. I'm referring to Azzaro Pour Homme Nighttime and Azzaro Pour Homme Elixir. Azzaro Pour Homme Nighttime is the perfect reflection of its name. The three words that I would use to describe this fragrance: dark, sophisticated, mysterious. This is a nice cross between La Nuit de l'Homme, the EDT version, and Spice Bomb. So if you found those fragrances a little too linear or a little too synthetic, this would be a great alternative. What does this one smell like? As I mentioned in my videos, in a nutshell, think of a more grown-up version of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male with a more Christmassy touch. Again, a more mature version of Ultra Male with a Christmassy touch. Enough said. Both fragrances coming in at number 4. My number 3 fragrance is from the house of Versace. Has gotten quite a bit of talk, but to me, this fragrance I think gets a little too much hate. And I am referring to Versace's The Dreamer. My gosh, guys, this fragrance may not smell the greatest from up close, but if you walk past somebody wearing this, the sillage of this is amazing. You get the lavender, you get a nice clean vibe without being citrusy, and you get also with a few hints of tobacco here and there. To me, this would be Lloyd Banks's signature scent for sure. If you don't know who he is, go check him, go Google him, or do your research. So Versace The Dreamer at number 3. Number 2 fragrance is from the house of Givenchy. This fragrance, to me, continues the legacy of its predecessor very well, and I'm referring to Givenchy Pies Extreme. This is a great fragrance, everyone. You get the nice ginger, patchouli type of a vibe, and this fragrance does have the same DNA of the original Givenchy, but is a little bit more deeper and a little bit more boozier to give it its different nuances. So, amazing fragrance. You will definitely get compliments on this one for sure. That one coming in at number 2. And my number 1 night out fragrance, guys. I wear this to the clubs a lot. I get compliments left and right. This to me was, if you were to ask me, Xavier, what was the best blind buy that you ever made, it would be this one. And this fragrance has a true place to my heart. And this fragrance is criminally underrated. From the house of Marc Jacobs, Bang Bang. Coming in at number 1. So, quick recap. Silver Scent Intense at number 10. Perry Ellis's Black Vanilla Absolute at number 9. 1 Million Intense and Absolutely Gold at number 8. Paul Sebastian's PS at number 7. The Brilliant Game at number 6. The Game Intense at number 5. Azzaro Port Homme Nighttime and Elixir tied at number 4. Versace The Dreamer at number 3. Givenchy Pies Extreme at number 2. And Bang Bang by Marc Jacobs at number 1. So that's it, guys. Those are my top 10 go-to night out fragrances. Let me know what you think of these fragrances in the comments section below. Do you like them, love them, hate them? Also, let me know in the comments section if any of these fragrances intrigue you and you're interested on buying, if not now, in the near future. All right, so that's it from me, guys. I'm Professor X. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Class dismissed.